Hey guys, I'd like to welcome you back to another wonderful, exciting, and informative episode of Building a Brand with Jeremy Patton. Now, in today's episode, we are going to continue the topic of writing out the perfect business plan, but we are going to transition out of the traditional business plan and move into the more modern version, which is also known as the lean business plan. Now, a lean business plan was coined by a man named Alexander Osterwalder, who is a Swiss business strategist. And so he looked at the traditional business plan and analyzed what exactly is missing from the traditional business plan that companies are doing today. And so he looked at this and he scaled it down to just the functionality of the business. And he teamed up with a man named Vies Pignier, and they created what is known as the business model canvas. Now, the business model canvas is broken into two different sides. It consists of 9 categories total, and the right side consists of what the customer experience is with interacting with your company and what your how you would interact with the customer as well. And then the left side deals more with the inside functionalities of the company. Now, Alexander Osterwalder suggests that you begin your business plan process with the right side of this business model canvas. So starting on the right side, we'll look at the top and then work our way down. And so starting at the top, we have the customer segment. So the customer segment specifies exactly who your target customer is, who your target market is, and this could be multiple people or multiple areas based off of how your business structure is going to be planned out. So you could sell directly to consumer. You could sell business to business. You could, if you have some form of space for advertisement, then you could sell to advertisement to other businesses. Now, each one of these are your customer segments, and you'll take each one of these and go on to the second section of the right side of the business model canvas, which is the value proposition. So the value proposition is basically what goods and what services you will provide and how those goods and services will benefit whoever your consumer is and whoever is listed in your customer segment. Now, in your customer segment, you have multiple different entries. Based off of each one of those entries, you want to specify for how your company will provide value to each individual one of those entries in the customer segment. So, and then after you do that, you could go into the third category, which is called channels. And under the channels section, you want to specify how exactly you want to interact with your customer and how you want your customer to interact with you. So if you are, if you're going to if you're going to push and try to connect and try to make sales via phone, via emails, people send brochures through the mail. You could do so through social media, and all these things are different channels that you would like to interact with your customer. But you also have to consider how you want your customer to interact with you. So say if they need a form of customer service or support. Would you rather them email you? Would you rather them dial a number and get a customer support team? So these are all different things that you have to consider as far as the channels itself. Now, from there, you can move on to the fourth section, which is customer relationship. Now, customer relationship refers to how exactly you are going to connect to your customer. So if you are doing a or if you have a product or a service that is more that is designed specifically for each individual customer, and it's more of a one-on-one service, then you would have a more personable customer relationship than if you were to have product in a retail shop and the customer, may not ever interact with you per se. But when they see your product, they connect and they could associate it with your brand and what your brand represents. And so you would have less of a personable relationship with your customer. But you could have one of those two extremes, or you could have one that's in the between. Or you could you could have a customer relationship that ranges from one extreme to the other. And depending on what the product is, depending on what the service is, you could have different events that raise awareness for your product or your service. So, it varies based off of whatever your product or your company service is. Now, after the customer relationship, we want to go on to the fifth topic that's on the right side of the business model canvas, and that fifth topic is revenue streams. So, how exactly is your product, your services, how are they going to bring in money? Now, there's different things to consider here. Now, you could have a product that is a one-time purchase, and after the customer or consumer purchases that product, then they would use that product until the product's lifespan runs out, and then they would hopefully be a returning customer. Or you could have a product that is a one-time purchase, but that also needs additional parts and components that your company provides outside of that product, but that is required for that product to still function. So you would get that initial purchase, and then your customer would have to continue to purchase your products, your sub products, in order for that initial purchase to work. And for example, I would like to use a printer. Say if you buy a specific printer, in order for that printer to work, you will need to continuously add ink and toner and other components that are specifically manufactured for that exact printer and model that you purchased initially. You can also think about subscriptions. Subscriptions work kind of the same way, where you're charging the customer or client for a period of time. And then after that period of time elapses, then you would charge them the same amount or a different amount for another period of time. And it's just a continuous thing, and they pay as they go throughout the year. Or you could have both as well with subscriptions. You have where they pay periodically for access to your service, and then you may have additional products that have to have an additional purchase, even if you have the subscription. And so there's a different variety of different options out there, but based off of whatever your business and your company structure is, whatever services and products that you provide will determine what each and every one of these things are. Now, after going through these, we could go to the left side of the business model canvas. And the left side of the business model canvas deals more so with the company functionality within the company. And so starting from the top and working our way down, on the left side of the business model canvas, we have the key resources. Now, the key resources are everything that your company needs to function and to successfully fulfill the customer need. So a key resource could be a factory, or a storefront location. It could be your brand and everything that your brand represents. So your brand's following. It could be a patent or a trademark, something that's copywritten. It could be capital because you do need funding for your business to operate. So whatever is required for your business to operate and function properly is going to be included in here. And then from there, you could move on to the second area of the left side of the business model canvas, which is key activities. Now, key activities includes anything that is required from you or your company staff to perform in order for your products, your services to be successful and to meet the customer needs and expectations. And key activity could include anything from manufacturing and producing the good and the service. It could be marketing and sales. It could be, cold calls. It could be going out and advertising. It could be, doing all the back end legal procedures in order to make sure that your business is legally up to date and able to legally operate and function in whatever area and whatever location you're in. And then from there, we can move on to key partners. Now, under key partners, you want to consider anybody that's outside of the company that can help propel your company into success and your company's operations into success. So you want to look at suppliers, you want to look at manufacturers, you want to look at financial institutes, because all these different areas that are outside of the company are areas that you're going to need a relationship with. You're going to want to build a partnership with to help not only you propel your business, but they'll also be in exchange. You'll be propelling their business as well because you guys are working together. Now, after that, we go into the cost structure. And based off of everything that we already implicated as far as the key resources, the key activities, and the key partners, we could kind of determine what the cost structure is going to be. So we could determine how much or where money is going to be allocated and to what activities and to what areas. And we could sort of build off of what we previously implemented in the business model canvas and determine estimated costs for all these functions, all these resources that we will need. And after that, that's essentially your business model canvas. Now, Yves Pignier and Alexander Osterwalder called this the business model canvas because in theory, you could go online, you could download the template, you could type in whatever your company specific entries are for each one of these categories. And then after that, it's sort of like a picture. And you're pretty much painting a picture of the functionality of your company. You're painting a picture of who your customer is. Then you're painting a picture of you're painting a picture of what your relationship with the customer is. You're painting a picture of what products and services you're providing for the customer. You're painting a picture of how you're going to provide those products and services to your customer, and how you are going to interact with your customer and have your customer interact with you. You're painting a picture of what is needed to produce those products and services. You're painting a picture of who you need to connect with in order to help you produce those products and services and meet your customers' expectations. And you're painting a picture of how much all that is going to cost and what you have to do in order to successfully meet your customers or clients' expectations. So after you're done doing that, you have your modern version of the business plan, which again is called the Lean Business Model Canvas. And you can map out exactly what you're going to do and how your company is going to do it. So the reason why this is important and this is picking up traction is because with modern technology, there's a lot of information that's left out of the traditional business plan. And again, the traditional business plan is to more so map out the future and to estimate what your company would do and how your company will reach its goal, its 3-year goals, its 5-year goals, even its 10-year goals. Whereas the Lean Business Model plan is more so crafted to iron out what today's scenario is. What can you do today to be successful and provide value for your customer or client? And it can be changed easily based off of how times change, based off of what's in is social media in. How is social media changing? How is advertisements changing? How is the industry changing, or policies and procedures changing that would impact your business and would impact how your company is operating and what functions your company can do or has to adjust. And as times change, as information changes, you can always adjust this as you go. So with that being said, I would like to invite everybody down to the comment box below. Let me know if you would prefer to write the traditional business plan over the more modern version, which is the Lean Business Model. And tell me if you have done both, if you have experience with either one. Please, if you have any suggestions, leave them below in the comments below. Also, if you have found value to this video, or if you think somebody else might have found value, please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video, because you never know who needs it or who might need it. And with that being said, this has been another episode of Building a Brand with Jeremy Patton. Thank you very much for staying tuned. I'll see you guys next time.